Hello class, welcome to week 13 of Windows Administration Server. So this week we have our second to last lab, which is lab 15, which is implementing Windows Server Update Services. So let's kind of get started with this lab. Obviously this lab is based off of module 11, which is chapter 11. So in this case, unlike the previous week, where we kind of did a lab that was from the previous chapter, this lab is actually based on the chapter reading for this week. So it's going to kind of overlap. So it was just last week where it was a little bit weird, but this week the lab and the actual textbook reading do connect in the concepts that we're going to utilize. So let's begin. So WSUS just stands for Windows Server Update Services. So the first thing they want us to do is they want us to begin on PLAB DMO1. So I'm currently on the wrong machine, so let me get on the correct machine. So PLAB DMO1, I'll power it on. It's powering on at the moment. So as it powers on, the first thing I'm noticing that they want me to do is they want me to click on the type here to search icon on the taskbar. So it's just a little magnifying glass at the very bottom. Once it does turn on, okay, so it's connecting. It's logging me on as a PLabs administrator, so a domain administrator. And down here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to, okay, they want me to just open up PowerShell. I kind of figured that they want us to do something like that. They're not testing you, but they're just showing you once again that there's multiple ways of opening up PowerShell. Obviously, we can right-click here and get PowerShell here. We can go to Tools and we can get PowerShell here, right here. There is a lot of ways to do the same task in Windows Server, and I guess that's just kind of this week's method of getting PowerShell, which is fine. Oh, they want an admin PowerShell. Okay, so just right-click this. Now you can get an admin PowerShell. Okay, so they want us to enter in this command. So as I've done in previous weeks, I'm going to go to clipboard, copy and paste. I'm going to send it twice, and then I'm just going to right click and press enter. So that's going to execute the command without me potentially or typoing certain words, because it's hard to tell the spacing with this sometimes. So I just prefer to clipboard it or to save myself the headache. So while it's installing, step 4 is clearly just waiting for the installation. Step 5 is once I get the successful installation of this feature, I'm going to close Windows PowerShell. So that's what step 5 is. So it's almost done. It's at 66%. So it looks like task 1 was just entering in that one PowerShell command, which is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I'll take it. A lot of times in previous weeks, it's been a lot more stuff that I have to type in. Obviously, as we go through this lab, it might be just that. It might be a lot of steps, but let's pray that it's not, because it can get a little bit repetitive when I'm just copying and pasting a bunch of PowerShell commands, but it is what it is. So I'll just wait for this to finish, and then we can move on to task 2, which is initializing WSUS. So that first thing was installing WSUS, and now we'll initialize it. So it's at 92%, almost there. I'll just give it a couple more. Okay, so perfect. So now I can close this. I believe that's what they want us to do. So after the installation, we're gonna stay on this machine. So PLAB DMO1. We have Server Manager open. The dashboard is open in front of us. So click on the yellow notification icon. Okay, so it's gonna be. Oh, I might have to refresh this to get that. Okay, perfect. So now they want us to click on this, and it's going to say, in the post deployment configuration window, click the launch post installation task web link. So I just clicked on it right now. So it should open something up for me. So now we can click on the Tools menu and select Windows Server Update Services. So it doesn't open up anything, it just makes the flag red for us. So now I can click on this. Okay, so in the complete WS-US installation dialog box, enable store updates locally. So I'm going to click on that checkbox. I'm going to click on browse right here, and then I'm going to go to, where do they want us to go? In the browse for folder dialog box, expand this PC. Okay. And then click on VHD drive. Okay, I'm inside of here. And then click on make a new folder. Okay. So we've done that. So once a new folder appears, rename it Windows Updates. Windows Updates. And let me just double check that I'm creating the folder where it should be created. It looks good because, yeah, I would say it's good. So it created it down here, which is fine. So I could do OK. So now I'm back on this WSUS installation dialog box. Actually, open this up. It should be right here. Okay. So now it's good. So the path that you want to give it is Windows Updates. So let's see. Let's do run. So the progress bar is displayed. It should be running. So in the complete, so when the progress bar is completed, we're going to click close. So it's still running right now. Give it a second. And then when it closes, or after it finishes, we close it, and then we'll move on to step 10, which looks like another wizard's going to open automatically once we close this dialog box. And for that, we're just going to click next. So we'll get to that in a second once this finishes. I hope it doesn't take too long. If it does take a little bit longer, I will pause the video and then continue it once it finishes. I'll give it like 20 more seconds. Okay, it finished. I'll do close. So now I'm just going to wait. Okay, so this popped up relatively quick. So this is the WSUS configuration window. So for here, they just say click next. The very next thing is for this, what do they want us to do? They want us to uncheck this checkbox right here and then click next. So for step 12, since this is the first WSUS server to be rolled out in this lab, accept the default settings to synchronize from Microsoft Update option. So we're going to keep this the same and we're going to just click next. Step 13. Okay, so we want to enable proxy server when synchronizing, so I'm going to click on this checkbox. So in the proxy server name, I'm going to type in proxy, and for the port number, I'm going to do 8080. So just those two edits, and I'm not going to change any of this stuff, at least it doesn't look like they want us to. I'm just going to hit next. Alright, so for this, now we're on step 14. On the Connect to Upstream server page, click on Start Connecting. So I'm just going to click on this button, Start Connecting. It's going to do its thing. I'm just going to wait for it to connect. And once it finishes, that should be step 16, where I'm just going to hit next, it looks like. So we'll give it a second as it connects. Obviously, if it takes a little bit longer, I'll pause the video and then resume it once it's finished. Now give it maybe like 10 more seconds. Okay, I'm back. It actually took probably around 20 minutes to complete. I did not expect that. Actually, when I was waiting, I ended up scrolling up because I was wondering why it was taking so long. I was like this close from stopping the connection, but do not stop the connection. It just takes that long. So when you do start the connect to upstream server and you do start connecting, just leave it there. It's gonna literally connect for about 20 minutes. Go get a sandwich, go eat something, go do your laundry, do something. Don't sit here for 20 minutes like I did, because it even tells you right here that the process takes a long time. but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's not necessarily fine, but it's the lab. It's the environment we're working in. We just have to work with what they give us. So that's that. It does take a lot of time, so like I said, go do something else in the meantime once you press the start connecting button. And eventually when you come back, you're going to see the screen I'm currently sitting at where these are grayed out, the connection is finished. So now that's step 16, so I could hit next once you finish that. So in step 17 we have the language choice. We're going to want to only verify that we have English checked off. So it is checked off. We're going to hit next. So for this option, we are going to turn off the default selection of select all products. Actually, you'll be installing updates for Microsoft products only. All right. Let's see. So probably just click on this. Nope, because that's just going to install all of that. So what do they want us to check? To turn off the default selection, select the All Products checkbox, then clear the All Products checkbox. You need to select the All Products checkbox first, then clear the same checkbox to clear the default product selected. So click, unclick, scroll down and locate Windows 10. Okay. Windows 10. Alright, how far down is it? Oh, I just passed it, didn't I? Windows Live, Windows Embedded. Okay, Windows 10. I need to scroll down a little bit more, I believe. Windows 10. Okay, is this it? It looks like it because right underneath it, there's something about 2000. I'm assuming it's Windows 2000 right here. Obviously, it changed with Windows 11 being a thing now, but I believe this is the checkbox we want. So I'm going to enable the Windows 10 checkbox and just pray that this is the one that they were talking about. And I'm going to hit next. Alright. So from this, from the Choose Classifications page, verify that only critical updates and security updates are checked off. So that means the definition updates we can get rid of, and the upgrades checkbox we can get rid of. We just want critical and security updates checked off, and we'll hit next. So now we're on step 21. So in the Set Sync Schedule page, accept the default settings to synchronize manually, which we have. I'll click next here. And then here, the finished page to verify begin initial synchronization checkbox is unticked. Okay, and we'll click next. So here on the what's next page, click finish. Perfect. Alright, that was a long process, but now we're going to go back to Windows PowerShell. So I'm going to right click here, do Windows PowerShell admin. So I have that open. I'm just going to copy and paste this right here because I do not want to type this. Go to clipboard, press Ctrl V, press send twice, and then right click into my screen, press enter. Operation completed successfully, great. So now we can close PowerShell. Okay, so step 26, we're going to open up Windows, or not Windows, open up File Explorer. So from here, I'm going to go to my PC, or this PC. So right here, go to Downloads. Okay, so I'm going to double click on NDP48 Web, and it's extracting files. Okay, so once the dialog box shows up, I'm going to click on I have read and accept the license terms, because obviously you saw that I read everything. No, I'm just going to say I read it and click install. So now that it's installing, I'm going to wait for the download to take place, give it a second. So when it does finish, I'm going to hit the finish button. but obviously it's still doing its thing. So if this ends up taking a while, which I'm hoping it doesn't, I'll have to pause the video and then I'll rejoin when it's finished, but I'm going to give it maybe like 10 more seconds to see if it wants to finish the installation process relatively quick. So it's installing. Is it going to go faster than that? Okay, so I'm just going to pause it right here, and when we reconnect, just like last time, it'll be when the installation is finished. Okay, so this one actually didn't take quite as long as the other one. I'd say it took maybe about a minute or two from when I paused the video, so give it about 2 minutes. I guess this lab is a waiting lab. It's a waiting game kind of lab. It is what it is. The installation's complete, so I'm going to click Finish. So here they're going to say, do I want to restart? And I'm going to say, yeah, okay, restart now. So it's going to restart, and that's it for task 2. So task 3 of this exercise 1 will be to monitor initial synchronization of WSUS. Okay, so I am going to, this should, since I clicked on the restart button, it should just kind of like load up the server again. I'm going to give it a second for it to decide on whether or not it wants to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh. Alright, so plab dmo1, I refreshed it because it looked like it was stuck. So let's do step 1 for task 3 now. So now that it's rebooted, we're back on this page. I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to go to Windows Server Update Services, which is at the very bottom. So now on this page, I'm going to expand the plab dmo1 node right here. Click on the Synchronizations node, and then click Synchronize Now. On the right-hand pane, wait for the synchronization status percentage to complete 100%. So where is that synchronization status page? Let me see. I think it's at the very bottom. I think it was this right here. Stop synchronization. I'm gonna do stop synchronization just because I'm not exact. When I clicked the button, I wasn't paying attention as to what had happened there. Okay, so this is the one I canceled. So let's do synchronize now. And I'm just gonna let it sit here for a second. The synchronization will take about 30 to 45 minutes to finish. Okay, then. Yeah, there is nothing I can really do about that. Alright, so I'll just pause the video again. I'm just gonna go through, I'm gonna quickly, before I pause the video, I'm gonna quickly read through some of the rest of the slab because it is getting a bit much, in my opinion, as far as the whole waiting aspect of this lab, more so than in previous labs. So I'm just quickly going through to see if there's any other section that's going to take a long time. I don't see anything here that will take a... Okay, so that's this page. I'm just going to quickly go through this other stuff before I pause the video, because obviously I'm going to have to pause it for half an hour. Okay. Alright, so I was this close to saying um, that I was getting a bit frustrated with this lab as far as the whole waiting aspect, and if there was one more um, delay, I was going to have to adjust the way this lab was going to be done. But because it looks like this is the final delay that we're going to encounter throughout this entire lab, then I'll have to wait, as they said. I'll go along with it for now, because I don't see any other waiting part. Alright, so I'm going to pause the video for now. So, I mean, you, I know it's a bit inconvenient for you guys, just kind of fight through it. I guess don't sit in front of your computer for half an hour or 45 minutes. Go do something else. Do another class's homework assignment in the meantime. Go eat something. Just find something to do. Once you press synchronization, you'll know it's synchronizing because you're going to see the stop synchronization on the right. Just leave it like that and then come back to it in about 45 minutes. But for now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to go do something else. I'll come back in 45 minutes and we'll continue the lab. And from what I just saw, I kind of skimmed through the rest of the lab. There's no more waiting. This is the final waiting aspect. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. But it looks like this is the final waiting part of the lab. So we can't do anything about it right now. It is what it is. So I'm going to pause the video right here. For you, it's going to be just a really quick transition. For me, it's going to be a pause of 45 minutes. So I'll see you guys in 45 minutes. Okay, class, so I am back. So that took somewhere around 1 hour to complete. Very long, very, a little bit annoying as far as the whole stopgap kind of frequency that we're finding thus far in this lab. I believe it's at least 2 really long pauses and then 1 somewhat short pause. I think it was like a 2-minute pause. So definitely something to consider when doing this lab. And definitely something I'll consider moving forward. These stopgaps are, they essentially make things longer than they need to be. And I'm personally not a fan, so I do apologize for that. So step 3, so once it's complete, it's going to tell us the synchronization is complete as, because this is the one I just did. So that's it for task 3. So task 4, do they want us to keep it open? Oh, they want us to close this. Okay, so I'm going to close this. So task 4, enable SSL for WSUS server. So on PLAB DMO1, which I'm currently sitting at, go to Tools, go to IIS, so right here. And so let's see, we're going to get a prompt about updating to the latest web platform component. Click No. I didn't get that prompt. Oh, it says if you get a prompt. So on the IIS window, manager window, I'm going to expand PLAB DMO1. And then I'm going to, in the center pane under IIS, select server certificates. So let's see if I could find server certificates right here. It's right here. Okay, so select it. So on the right-click server certificates and click Open Feature. Okay. So the server certificates window opens on the actions pane. Click the Create Self-Signed Certificate. Create Self-Signed Certificate. Okay. So for the friendly name for the certificate, I'm going to do the PLAB DMO1-WSUS, and I'm going to keep this as personal because they do want you to keep it as personal. I'm going to press OK. Okay, there's my certificate that I just created. So in step 5, back on the ISS Manager window, they want me to expand sites and choose, and right-click SSL. In the center pane, right-click SSL. Wait, expand sites node and select WS administration. Okay. So in the center pane, right-click Ssl Settings. Expand Ssl Settings. In the center pane. Oh, I think I have to go back here. Yeah, okay. So, let's see. In the center pane, click Ssl Settings, which is... Am I just not seeing it? ISS, it should be next to... Huh. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I had to go... Okay, I guess it's here. So they want me to right-click it and choose Bindings. Okay, Bindings. In the Site Bindings dialog box, select HTTP and click Edit. Alright, so in the hostname field box, type in edit plab demo1 period practice labs period.com, and we'll click OK. So in the Site Bindings dialog box, click Close. I'll close that. So we're now back at the ISS Manager window. Click on WS US Administration. Okay, that's where we're currently at. On the center pane, right-click Ssl Settings again and click Open Feature. Alright, so in the Ssl Settings Details pane, enable Require SSL checkbox. I'm going to click on that. Navigate to the Actions pane to the right and click Apply. Alright, so my actions have been successfully saved. So step 12, you will now export the self-signed certificate to a file. So I'm going to right-click on plab demo1 on the center pane. So let's see. Server certificates and choose open feature. And then, okay, so right here, we're gonna do view. Okay, so that's our certificate. Go to the details tab. Under the details tab, click copy to file. Okay, so now we have this wizard that came up. We're going to click next. We're going to click on, let's see, so export, we'll do yes. Click next. So for this, we're just going to click next. It doesn't look like there's any changes here. And then for step 19 on the security page, enable the password checkbox. And we're going to do password of password. Alright. And then we'll do next. So on the file to export page, we're going to click on the file text box and type the path that they gave us. So it's going to be the C drive, plab, demo1, and we'll hit next. And then for this, we're just going to do finish. So export was successful, great. We're going to close the ISS Manager window. So click OK, I'll click close. Task 5, configure domain to trust self-signed certificate. So we're back here. We're going to go to Group Policy Managers, which is under Tools. So we're going to open up Tools, and we're going to go to, what machine are we on? Okay, so wrong machine. We have to go to plab DC01, and here we go to Tools. And now we should find Group Policy Manager, which is right here. And here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to, on the left-hand pane, we're going to expand the forest, go to Domain, go to Practice Labs, and we're going to do, let me see, so click on Default Domain Policy, we'll click on this. On the dialog box, click Do Not Show this message again, click OK. So right-click on Default Domain Policy, so we're going to right-click on this, and we're going to go to Edit, and then after that we're going to go, we'll be on step 4, this management editor shows up, and what we want to do is go to Computer Configuration, Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, Public Key Policies, which is right. I can move this over. Yep, it's this one. And then click on Trusted Root Certification Authorities. So, Trusted People, this one. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to right click on the details pane and we're going to do import. And from here, we're just going to click on next. We are going to do, for file to import, we're going to do the following path that they gave us. We're going to do plab dmo1 /c and then like the money symbol. Then plab dmo1.pfx, and we're going to click next. For password, we're going to do password. Yep. Yeah, I spelled that right. And we're going to hit next, because I don't, on the private key protection page, type password. Yeah, click next. So here we're going to do on the certificate store, we're just going to hit next. And then we'll hit, well actually before I hit finish. So click finish on the completing the certificate on the page. Okay, when import successful. So click finish, click OK. And now that we have this, that's what we want to take the screenshot of. Great. And now we can close this. Okay. And that's it for page 3. The slab is relatively long, as you can tell, and that's with me pausing the video on all those stop gaps that we ran into. So let's move on to page 4. So page 4, I believe it does go a little bit quicker, which is nice. So let's just get started. So plab dmo1. So we have to move to the second machine again. We're going to go to Tools. We're going to go to Windows Server Update and Services, because we are working on in this specific tool quite a bit. So we do get this error, system error message. So what they want us to do is go to the Actions pane and click on Remove from Console, and then we're going to click on Yes. Okay. So here on the Actions page, we're going to do Connect to Server. And then for the server name, we're just going to use the name that they gave us. So plab dmo1, dmo1.practicelabs.com, and we're going to click on Use Secure SSL to connect to the server, and we'll click Connect. Alright, so I got this error message. Why am I getting this error message? Did I type something wrong? Cannot connect to it. Please make sure the post. If it was, please verify the server is running. Let me see if I typed this in correctly. plab dmo1.practicelabs.com. Huh. Alright, so I'm going to cancel out of this. I'm going to try it again. Actually, I'm going to refresh it first. And then we'll try connecting to this. Okay, let's try this again, I guess. And I'm going to try to copy and paste it. Not that I think I misspelled anything, but you never know. Okay, it's maybe if I try a different port. No, it doesn't matter if I try a different port. Alright. As far as an error and what I've done, let's display showing error message on the actions may connect. Click connect to server on the connect to server to the server name text box. Back on this update. Alright, I'll hold off on that. I'm just gonna move ahead because I'm not exactly sure why it's not allowing me to connect there. It's probably going to interfere with the rest of this, but I'm just going to try to do it regardless. So step 4, back on the update services manager window, so up right here. Because I can't connect, there's nothing here. Okay. So what if I do plab dm01. That is unfortunate. Let's try not resetting, rebooting this machine. I'm not sure if it told me I had to reboot it at the very beginning. Yeah, we'll try rebooting it, and if this doesn't work, then I guess I may have made a error somewhere along the way, but I don't think I did. Yeah, I mean, from the previous example, or from the previous page, the only thing I could have messed up was the certificate, but I believe I wrote that the correct way. And all of this is, yeah, so hopefully the reboot of the server did the trick. So I'm going to go back to WSUS, and for this I'm going to do remove from console. Are you sure you want to? Actually, no. What if I do restart server node? Okay, it's not going to do it. So remove from console, fine. We'll try to connect to that same server again. And I get the feeling it's just going to error me out. plab dm01 period practicelabs.com. Yeah, okay. Well, it is what it is. So I can't get into it. It may have been something I mistyped. But with all of the interruptions throughout the lab that it makes you wait, I am not surprised that something went wrong, because it interrupts the flow of the lab, in my opinion. So not something I'm a huge fan of. I'm trying to see where I may have made the mistake. Enable SSL for W, maybe right here. Open future, create self-signed certificate. No, I did it. Source friendly name, choose bindings. Oh, you know what I think I just figured out where I made the mistake. I think I did it for HTTP and not HTTPS. So where's this? This is on plab dm01, so it's under IIS. Let me just try this. If this doesn't work, then I'll think of something. But I do think this is where I made my mistake. So we're going to go to Server Certificates. We're going to right click and go to Open Feature. And then here, where we do the self-signed certificate. Okay. Okay, so back on the ISS Manager window. Expand sites. Okay, so this. Okay, so right here, so Ssl Certificates, and we're going to do bindings. And then for, yeah, I did it for HTTP, not HTTPS. This is where I made the mistake. Huh. This is why it was not working. And that actually is an error on my part, but it's an error on my part because it took an hour for that thing to work. And I lose concentration, at least for me. And sometimes I like to skim over things. So here we have to go back to edit. And then this is where we're going to do the hostname of plab. dmo1.practicelabs.com, and I believe it was for hostname and type that in the Ssl certificate. We're going to change it to this and click OK. Alright, so in this site, okay, so I think it's fine. This is fine. So now we have to go back to, I'm just redoing it from where I know I messed up on. So we're going to do open feature. And then right here we're going to do, okay, require SSL. And we leave that the same. Change this up and say, okay, it's fine. Alright, I think everything else is relatively fine, so I can move back to where I was. And now I believe it should work. So let's go to tools, this, okay. And we'll do connect to server. And now when we type in this name, okay, I have nothing saved on my clipboard, which is fine. So plab.dmo1.practicelabs.com. Use SSL connect, and now it's working. Okay, so that's where I messed up. So just make sure on the previous thing you do it for HTTPS, not HTTP, or else you're going to run into the same problem I ran into. And if you're as detail-oriented as I am, you'll be able to kind of recognize it, but at the same time, it might not be obvious. You might make a mistake elsewhere, but that's just where I made my mistake. So now that it's working, I can continue with the next steps. So the next step is back on, or wait, let me just make sure. Okay, it's connected. So back on the update service window, which is this window right here, expand Practice Labs computers, which already is expanded. Actually, no, now it's expanded. Select and right click on all computers, and then click on add computer group. Okay, so the group we're going to add is marketing. Okay, I have caps lock on. So marketing, click add. Alright, so step 6, you are back on the update services window. On the console tree pane, click on options. Options, and select computers. Okay, on the computers dialog box, use group policy or registry settings on computers. Click on OK. Click on updates. Click or keep update services window open. So task 2, approve downloaded updates. So on the plab or in the plab dmo1 device, the update services console is open. Click on plab dmo1.practicelabs top node right here. In the center pane, under the to-do section, which is this, on X security updates are waiting to be approved. Click the approved web link. So we're going to click on this. In the list of security updates, select any security update for Windows 10 that has not been superseded by any other update. Has not been superseded by any other update. Alright, I'm just going to click on this. Well, in the example, they're choosing the very last one, so I'll choose the very last one as well. And I'll click on Approve right here. So I should get this dialog box. So in the Approve Updates dialog box, right-click Marketing and select Approved for Install. So I'm going to right-click Marketing and Approved for Install. Okay. So click OK. I'm going to click OK. And in the approval dialog box, WSUS will approve the update. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Click Close when the result is when the result is successful. Keep the update services window open. So I'm going to close this, keep this window open, and that's it for page 4. So now we're on page 5. We're towards the end. It's a long lab. We're already at, what, 46 minutes? But it's a good thing I'm doing it with you guys, because we get to see that there's stop gaps, there's potential errors that you might make, like I just made with the whole HTTP instead of HTTPS for my certificate. Just little things like that. This lab can trip you up in those cases. Alright, so third page. Page 5 of 6, so step 1, connect to PLAB DC01, so it's the first machine, I already have it open. So it looks like they want me to go to Tools, they want me to go to Active Directory Users and Computers, or this right here. From the Active Directory Users and Computers window, right-click on PracticeLabs.com and choose New. And then within New, we're going to do Organizational Unit. So this right here. Alright, so for the name, we're going to name it WSUS Clients, and we're just going to click OK. We're going to leave this checkbox there, that's fine. Okay, so step 4, back on the Active Directories Users Computers window, select the Computers container, so this right here. Actually, yeah, okay. So for PLAB, we're going to right-click PLAB Win10 and click Move. And here we're actually going to move it into the WSUS clients. Click OK. So close Active Directory Users Computers. Step 7. On the Server Manager dashboard, click Tools and click Group Policy Management, which I actually already have open. But if you don't have open, go to Tools and Group Policy Management. It's right here. So from the Group Policy Management window, expand the forest, which is this. So we would just click on this arrow. Expand domains, expand practicelabs.com. Right-click on WSUS clients. I might have to refresh this. Yeah, okay, I did. And then select, so right-click on it. And then select Create GPO in this domain. Okay, so we're going to get this dialog box, and inside of the name, we're actually going to write WSUS Updates. Okay, and we're going to click OK. So step 10, on the WSUS Clients pane, which is where we're currently, no, we're not, now we're currently at it. We're going to right click on WSUS Updates and click on Edit. Okay, so so on the Group Policy Management Editor window, expand Computer Configuration Policies, Administrative Templates, Windows Components, and then click on Windows Update, which should be towards the bottom. And obviously we can move this, we could expand this if we want, just so that we could see better. And click Windows Update. Okay, so now we have all of this. which is similar to what we're seeing over here. So in the Windows Update Policy Details pane, right-click on Configure Automatic Updates. So they want us to right-click on it, okay, and you click on Edit. So we're going to get this window. So in the Configure Automatic Updates window, use the following settings. So we're going to use Enabled. We're going to do 4. We are going to do every day. We're going to do it at 3 o'clock. 4 install automatic. No, we're going to leave that. And we're going to click on OK. Alright, so for step 13, you are back on the Group Policy Management Editor window. Right-click on Specify Intranet Microsoft Update Service Location. Alright, so specify. There's multiple specifies. It's actually this one. Okay, so right-click on it and do Edit. So for this one, we want to do Enabled. We want to do for this, set the Intranet Update service for detecting updates to the following. So we're going to type in HTTP 2/plab dmo1.practicelabs.com:8531. Okay. For the set statistics server, we're going to do HTTPS and do the 2// the plab dmo1.practicelabs.com:8531. Okay, and so we're gonna leave this last one empty. We're gonna click on OK. So now we're on step 15. So back on this editor window again, we're gonna look for one more thing: automatic updates or detection frequency. So it's this one right underneath it. We're gonna click on Edit, and then for this one, we're gonna enable this as well. We're gonna leave the interval hours to 1, not 22. Okay. So, and then we're going to click on OK, and okay, we're going to edit one more, or we're editing a lot, so, alright, we're on step 17, so enable client-side targeting, alright, client-side targeting, this one, nope, this one, so edit, alright, so for this one, we're going to enable it, and just type marketing inside of here, and click OK. Alright, so close this, and close the Group Policy Management console as well. So now task 2, verify WS-US client functionality. So we're going to move to plab Win 10. So I don't have it powered on right now, so I'm going to power it on. And once it is on, I'm going to open up a PowerShell window. And it looks like, okay, so this is the very last thing. Like I said, long lab, but we're getting there. This is literally the last task. Just verifying everything we've done to make sure that we've done the right things. So I'm going to open up a PowerShell admin window, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a GPU update, which is essentially just going to update this computer with all group policy changes that have occurred, and I'm going to force it, so it's updating the group policy. So once it does that, to register this Windows workstation to detect the presence of the update server, we're going to type the following. Okay, so we're going to type in WUAUCLT space / register now space / detect now. Press enter. Okay, great. So now we're going to restart this machine. We're going to do shutdown RT0. Alright. So now it's shutting down. So after a minute, so I'm going to give this like 60 seconds and then I'll reconnect to it. So I'll pause it now. I'll wait the minute and then we'll continue where we left off. Okay, I think it's been close to a minute. So I am going to refresh this client. It's the PLAB Win 10. So once it starts back up, I'm going to right click on the start menu and go to System. So now in the settings window, I'm going to go to Home, which is up here. Select Home on the top left hand navigation pane. Okay, so from the settings window, click on Update. Click on Update and Security right here. So now here, actually an error has occurred. I'm going to do retry, and it should give me a bunch of updates available. And they want us to click on the configured update policy. So in the settings Windows Update window, click the View Configured Update Policies. Where viewed configured update policies link. You can see it as View Configured Update Policies. Oh, right here. Okay. I was like, I can't find it. So you can see that this PLAB Win 10 workstation is configured to receive updates automatically because of the changes made to group policy. Detecting updates. Automatically download updates and install them on the specified schedule. Okay, so yeah. You are unable to change the update configuration. It may take an hour before the updates are downloaded to this computer. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So click the arrow on the top left to return to the settings window. So now I have all these updates available, and that's it. So essentially we set specific updates for this computer that sits in a certain computer group in our domain controller, and it's specified to update, I believe it was like, I think it was like once a day or something like that. You can check it by scrolling up. It's somewhere around that where we set the settings. And that's it. We can't change when it's going to update. Group policy specifies when this computer will update certain stuff on its computer. But that's pretty much it. That's the lab. I'm not going to talk anymore. This lab, I think this video is long enough. It's about an hour. So that's it. That's week 13. So week 14, hopefully the lab is a lot shorter, at least a little bit shorter. And hopefully this was helpful. I definitely ran into a lot of different things, but you know, these things happen. The labs, or just like the labs in general in real life, things don't always, when you're working with servers, it doesn't always turn out as simple and clean as you may think. You do run into these small issues, but that's when you have to troubleshoot. Try to figure out where you made your mistake, fix it, and then go back to where you were. That's what I did, and hopefully you guys can follow the same example, or maybe just don't make mistakes by watching the video. Either way works. So I'll see you guys next week.